Imagine a house. It stands dark, lifeless. No lights shine, no smoke from the chimney. This is the brain after brain death, doctors tell us. But what if somewhere in that house, a single light still flickers? This is the unsettling question at the heart of brain death. Can a mind, however faintly, persist in a body declared medically dead? Brain death, the complete and irreversible cessation of all brain activity, is a deeply complex phenomenon. It raises profound questions about the nature of consciousness and the very definition of life and death. While most medical professionals consider brain death to be equivalent to death, the possibility of residual consciousness continues to fuel debate and ignite ethical dilemmas. This exploration delves into the murky waters of brain death. We'll examine the medical criteria for its diagnosis, explore the latest scientific research, and confront the emotional and ethical implications for families and society as a whole. Through case studies and expert opinions, we'll navigate the labyrinthine relationship between the brain, the mind, and the essence of being. The human brain, with its billions of neurons and trillions of synapses, is an organ of astonishing complexity. It orchestrates our thoughts, emotions, and actions, shaping who we are. But when this intricate network shuts down, is it truly the end? Or could there be more to the story than meets the medical eye? Join me as we venture into the heart of this profound mystery. Brain death, in medical terms, signifies the irreversible cessation of all brain functions, including those of the brainstem, which controls basic life functions like breathing and heartbeat. Doctors use a battery of tests, including checking for reflexes, brainstem responses, and electrical activity to confirm brain death. Think of the brain as a complex electrical grid. Brain death is like a complete power outage. No electricity flows, no lights flicker. The brain, once a hive of activity, falls silent. This state, unlike a coma or vegetative state, is irreversible. While the medical community generally agrees on the criteria for diagnosing brain death, challenges remain. For instance, certain medications or metabolic conditions can mimic brain death, making accurate diagnosis crucial. Furthermore, the possibility of minimal, undetectable brain activity continues to fuel debate. Despite these complexities, brain death remains a critical medical determination, particularly in the context of organ donation. The ability to identify brain death allows for the possibility of saving other lives through transplantation. However, this life-saving act is often intertwined with ethical dilemmas and emotional turmoil, as families grapple with the loss of their loved one. The question of consciousness in brain-dead individuals is intricately linked to the age-old mind-body problem. Where does the mind, with its thoughts, feelings, and subjective experiences, reside in relation to the physical brain? Is the mind simply a product of brain activity, or is it something more, something that might exist independently? Imagine the brain as a radio receiver and the mind as the music it plays. When the radio breaks, the music stops. This analogy reflects a materialist perspective which sees the mind as entirely dependent on the brain. Brain death in this view signifies the end of both. However, others propose a dualist view suggesting that the mind and brain are separate entities. Perhaps the mind is like a bird that uses the brain as its nest. Even if the nest is destroyed, the bird might still exist, albeit in a different form. This perspective leaves open the possibility of consciousness persisting beyond brain death. The debate between these viewpoints rages on, fueled by both philosophical arguments and scientific discoveries. While current scientific understanding leans towards a materialist explanation, the subjective nature of consciousness and the limitations of our investigative tools leave room for doubt and exploration. The question of whether a brain-dead individual can still experience some form of consciousness remains a tantalizing mystery. Over the years, several documented cases have challenged the absolute certainty surrounding brain death. These cases, often anecdotal and difficult to replicate scientifically, tell stories of individuals declared brain dead who exhibit unexpected responses or behaviors. One such case involved a young woman named Terri Schiavo, who suffered severe brain damage and was diagnosed as being in a persistent vegetative state. While not technically brain dead, Her case sparked a national debate about end-of-life care and the possibility of residual awareness in individuals with severe brain injuries. Another case involved a young boy who, after a near-drowning experience, was declared brain dead. As his family prepared to say their goodbyes, the boy suddenly reached out and grabbed his mother's hand. While doctors attributed this to involuntary reflexes, the experience left a profound impact on the family and raised questions about the limitations of current medical understanding. These cases, though often lacking definitive scientific explanations, highlight the profound emotional and ethical complexities surrounding brain death. They challenge us to confront the limits of our knowledge and to approach these sensitive situations with humility and compassion. While the scientific community continues to seek concrete evidence of consciousness in brain-dead individuals, these anecdotal accounts serve as powerful reminders of the enduring mysteries of the human brain and the profound impact of these experiences on those directly affected. The debate surrounding brain death extends far beyond medical definitions, delving into profound ethical considerations about the very meaning of life and death. If brain death truly signifies the end of a person's existence, what are the implications for organ donation, end-of-life care, and our understanding of the human experience? Imagine a scale. On one side rests the sanctity of life, the belief that every human being, regardless of their physical or mental state, possesses inherent value and dignity. On the other side lies the potential for alleviating suffering and offering the gift of life through organ donation. The ability to declare brain death has undoubtedly saved countless lives through organ transplantation. However, the possibility, however remote, of residual consciousness in brain-dead individuals raises ethical questions about the potential for inflicting pain and suffering. This dilemma underscores the need for transparent communication, informed consent, and compassionate care for both patients and their families. Furthermore, the definition of death itself becomes ethically charged in the context of brain death. Is it solely the cessation of biological functions, or does it encompass something more, like the loss of personhood, memories, and the potential for future experiences? These questions challenge our understanding of what it means to be human and the values we prioritize as a society. Navigating these ethical complexities requires open dialogue, respect for diverse perspectives, and a willingness to engage with the uncomfortable truths revealed by the enigma of brain death. Ultimately, these conversations force us to confront our own mortality and the values we hold dear in the face of life's most profound mystery. For families facing the unimaginable loss of a loved one declared brain dead, the experience is often a whirlwind of grief, confusion, and agonizing decisions. The medical definition of brain death may feel at odds with the reality of seeing their loved one's chest rise and fall with each mechanical breath. Imagine a ship caught in a storm. The waves of grief crash over them, the wind of uncertainty howls, and the compass of reason spins wildly. This is the tumultuous sea families navigate when confronted with brain death. Families often struggle to reconcile the medical pronouncements with their own observations and the lingering hope that their loved one might still be present, however faintly. They may find solace in sharing stories, touching their loved one's hand, or speaking to them as if they could still hear. The decision-making process, particularly regarding organ donation, can be emotionally fraught. Families may grapple with feelings of guilt, fear, and the weight of honoring their loved one's wishes while facing their own profound loss. Supportive resources, empathetic communication, and access to grief counseling are essential in helping families navigate this challenging time. The journey through brain death is deeply personal and profoundly affecting. Recognizing the complexities of grief, offering unwavering support, and approaching these situations with compassion and understanding are crucial in helping families find meaning and solace amidst unimaginable loss.